Interstate 610. Yeah! Alright, we are talking about Interstate 610, IH610, Texas style. So let's take a look at the map. 610 is Houston's inner loop, and it spends pretty much entirety of its route inside the city limits of Houston. We will talk about the inner loop first. So, we're starting off weird. It's Texas, so of course it's going to be weird. This is exit 1A. They don't mark it as exit 1A, but this is in fact exit 1A for 521 Alameda Road. This is not even accessible from 610 itself. It's only accessible from the on-ramp from 288 southbound to 610 eastbound. Really weird. No idea why this would be 1A. And if we look at the interchange, this is how it looks here. So you see it's just that ramp on the left that is shooting off. Here we get a nice digital sign telling us the distance to I-69, nice, and IH10. Always IH in Texas. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about highways and the places that they're designed to go to. If you dig this kind of content, why not give us a like? And if you really like it, why not subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. Right away, we are going to see the stadiums right at the exit 1 area, and this was requested by CforCat. We wanted to see the stadiums, so we see the Astrodome and the new Astrodome, where the Chiefs and Texans won't be playing because they'll be playing at Arrowhead. Thank you for that request. And they have no sign on this overhead telling us this is the exit for the stadiums for whatever reason. I guess maybe they figure you can just see them. CforCat requested that on the Patreon, as anybody who joins and pays a monthly fee can do. You can get exit requests, get first access to videos, get first access to what we're going to be doing, vote in polls, all kinds of fun stuff. So thank you to those who do. You can also make requests the old-fashioned way with a $5 super sticker that you can place in the comments of any video to request for an upcoming video. US 40 Western will be our next video available. During the playoffs, I don't know what we'll be doing, but we will be doing the East-West Tollway in Orlando for the Pro Bowl. Here's a closer look at the stadiums. So again, we see the Astrodome and the new Astrodome. The original Astrodome, I don't think they're using for anything anymore. It's just kind of there. Eighth wonder of the world. And this was requested by Interstate 13. He wanted to request that to shout out his grandpa who lives in Houston. So shout out grandpa. And thank you so much for that request. Most of our ramps onto 610 look pretty much like this. We get no control city given. We just get a slip ramp kind of thing because it's Texas. So there is always frontage road action going. We're meeting 90 alt. The real US 90 is concurrent with I-10 at this point. So that's why it's alt. Here's the interchange for 90 alt, and you see the off-ramp is before you meet the road, and then the on-ramp is before you meet the road as well. These Texas interchanges are just so unaesthetic, these frontage road things. I guess they have their purposes, but they are so ugly looking. We're meeting South Post Oak Road. It's a left interchange, and we are heading west right now, but we are going to be going north. So they have a sign telling us we're going to be on North 610. No control city given. Coming on from Post Oak Road, we get no control cities in either direction, and that's kind of how Texas plays this the whole way. We're entering the small suburb of Bel Air. This is the only time we leave the Houston city limits in the entirety of this road. I-69 and US 59, this has been a freeway for a long time as US 59 and recently has become I-69. So we're getting 69, 59 north for downtown and south for Victoria. Victoria, not the greatest choice, but it kind of makes sense. We don't get a sign saying so, but we are now back in Houston as we approach this I-69 interchange. Here is the Galleria area in West Houston. This is a pretty built up area here. Some tall buildings, lots of development. And we're going to be passing the Houston Arboretum very soon, a big green space, but first we've got some more commercial development right by the side of 610. We're meeting our next major interstate, which is IH10 in these parts. West for San Antonio and east for downtown. We still get 610 north. They do mention that this is the way to Intercontinental Airport. Here's a look at eastbound I-10, and we get a good view of the Houston skyline from here. We're never too far away from downtown Houston, this being the inner loop, so we do get some pretty good skyline views. Meaning West 290 for Austin. There is no interstate between Houston and Austin, but this is the road that you would take. I've actually taken this road from Houston to Austin. 610 north. I don't know why they would sign the 610 north because we curve right after this. So why not just sign it 610 east? You cannot get off the road before you start going east. Here is what that junction looks like. You can see it is for a Y junction. They're really doing it Houston style with all kinds of ramps all over the place. On the north loop, we pass this creek and we get a view of downtown Houston from here. Next, we're going to be meeting I-45, our third interstate in Houston, so we'll start meeting them again soon. 45 is signed sensibly north for Dallas and south for downtown. 610 signed unsensibly for nothing. We're meeting the Hardy Toll Road. This is one route to the airport, although if you were coming from this direction, you probably would have gotten off earlier. And here is a pretty good view of downtown Houston from this part of the north loop.
Cleveland!
That's such a weird control city there. That is dating from when it was only US 59. Cleveland is a suburb that is up the way. If you were going to Cleveland, Ohio, this is technically the right way to go as well. I would say it should be either Lufkin, which is kind of the next major-ish city, or you could sign it for Shreveport because that's where I-69 will eventually go if they ever finish that part of it. And it's the next major-ish city in that direction. This was requested by Arnathon. He is requesting this because US 59 is close to home, and he also thinks it should be signed Lufkin or Shreveport or Texarkana. So thank you so much for that request. One could also argue 59 North should just be signed Lawrence. And now we pass by a railroad yard, or a big set of railroad tracks heading into downtown Houston. Pretty cool view. We're meeting 90 East, but not really. This is really US 90 Alt that we are meeting here, not US 90 or US 90 Business. To get to East, they're saying this exit because you can't actually reach it from the I-10 exit. So I do understand why they would do this. I made a US 90 video fairly recently. You can check that out right over here. It is East 90 as well. Coming off the 90 Alt interchange, we are getting East 610 if you get on right here. And it should not say east. You can see that the road is curving to the south, so they're doing this again. They did it at the northwest corner, and now they're doing it at the northeast corner. It should be signed south at this point. We're on 610 south, and now we are meeting I-10 once again. So I-10 east for Beaumont and west for downtown. The I-10 interchange is pretty large, so here's what it looks like as we go through the I-10 interchange. We cross over the Buffalo Bayou, and we can see the Houston skyline in the background there. Reading Texas 225 west, Lawndale Avenue. 225 is a freeway, and putting the control city of the freeway, which would be Pasadena, would be more important than putting Lawndale Avenue on there. I don't know why they don't do it that way. We get no control city for this freeway, and we get no control city for 610, as always. We're now on 610 west, and we are meeting I-45. I-45 sign north for downtown and south for Galveston. That makes sense. Those are the two places that it is going. And now we're going to be meeting exit 38, which is our last exit for Texas 288 and Toll Texas 288. It's the exit for the zoo, apparently. This is requested by RealTony because he uses Highway 288 to get to his uncle's house. So thank you so much for that request. And if you're interested in exit 38's actual off-ramp, this is what it looks like right now. So there it is, exit 38. They don't say anything here. There's not really anything after that other sign because of this current construction. All right, let's talk about the outer loop of 610. So I'm just going to start on Texas 288. Heading towards 610, we get 610 East, 610 West, as we always do. We meet I-45 once again. We're getting 45 North downtown and South Galveston. I should note this is also the exit for Hobby Airport, so if you got a Southwest flight, that's the way you want to go. 610 and I-45 is a fairly massive and complicated interchange, so here is what it looks like from above. On I-45, we get East 610 Pasadena. We get a control city on 610. Whoa! Amazing! 610 to 225 Pasadena. Let's see how long this holds up. Having a control city. Let's go. And like one exit later, we are meeting 225 and it is signed for Pasadena, and we go back to 610 North. So that was a fun ride while it lasted, but it's over now. 225, we are of course getting 610 no control cities. So I don't need to show this every time. Just assume we get no control cities at every interchange. Here's the Buffalo Bayou once again looking eastbound so we can see all this oil and gas kind of stuff going on over there. We're meeting I-10, and I-10 is again signed for downtown and Beaumont and Liberty. Signed for Liberty because of US 90 East. US 90 has a direct ramp from 610. Here's looking east on those same railroad tracks that we passed going the other direction. And here's what 610 looks like from I-69's perspective. 610 is the road crossing in the middle there. We're meeting the Hardy Toll Road once again, and it is not really signed for anything, but if you wanted to go to the big airport, then you would get off here. I-45 is a left exit, so that's interesting. Sign for downtown, 610, sign of course for nothing. Hazardous cargo, sign do take 610. I guess they don't want hazmats driving into downtown Houston. We're going to be meeting I-10 once again, Old Katy Road before that. I-10 at this point is the famed Katy Expressway. Here is a look at 10 headed out westbound. This was requested by CforCat. He's saying this because he used to live in the Katy area and traveled through this interchange commuting from the West End and downtown, and he has great memories associated with this junction. Thank you so much for that request. Appreciate that. We're heading back into the Galleria, fairly developed area on the west side of Houston. Right here is the taller building that you see in the Galleria area, and right here is an even taller building that you see in the Galleria area. I suppose that's the one I meant last time. Exit 8D is Westheimer Road. This was requested by Andrew DeVore because this is the exit for KHOU. Neil Frank, the grandfather of his favorite singer Forrest Frank, used to work at KHOU. So thank you so much for that request. We also see the I-69 interchange is coming up as well. When we get to the I-69 interchange, we get, wow, 610 South Bel Air. It's the only city besides Houston we go into, so we suddenly get Bel Air signage. Wow, amazing. And on the ramp from I-69, we do get 610 South Bel Air and 610 North for nothing. They're also telling us Hobby Airport South and Intercontinental Airport go north. We are now in Bel Air. We don't get a welcome to Bel Air sign, just like we didn't get a welcome to Houston sign going northbound right here. We can see that 610 in the distributor ramp above us is signed for Bel Air, even though we are actually in it right now. But not for long. Now we do get a welcome to Houston sign. We get back to South Post Oak Road again and 610 East. So again, for whatever reason, in this southwest corner, it's the only way that they kind of do the east, north, south thing right. Sign for the direction we're going to be in instead of the direction that we are currently on. We're back to exit 2, so that is US 90 Alt once again. At that exit, I should note, we got a Whataburger, a Texas classic, and thanks to Patrick Mahomes for bringing that to Kansas City. All of Kansas City appreciates that. And exit 1B is our last one going in this direction because, as noted, exit 1A was just that random one-off exit ramp. Why is this exit 1 instead of I-10? I have absolutely no idea. Makes no sense to me. It's 610. You should have I-10 be the zero marker for it. They just choose the midpoint of the south loop to do that, which is kind of a weird way to do it. And beyond exit 1, this is what the construction looks like on this part of the south loop of 610, as we would go for another lap if we continue to go straight. All right, let's take a look at Todd's the way it should be for Interstate 610 in Houston. I've got massive changes compared to how it is. I'm going to say inner loop starting from exit 1. I would sign it for San Antonio until we get to I-10, Austin until 290, Dallas until I-45, Beaumont until I-10. Beaumont's a fairly good choice for I-10, but New Orleans sure would be cool. Pasadena until we get to 225, Galveston around until I-45, finally San Antonio once again. Outer loop, I would sign it Pasadena from the exit 1 area until 225, then Beaumont until I-10, then sign it for Dallas until I-45. I feel like Austin's kind of an awkward angle for traffic in that direction, so I'd just sign it San Antonio for I-10 traffic, and then from I-10, I'd sign it back to Pasadena all the way to 225. I feel like it's an awkward angle for Galveston, and I'm not putting any I-69 cities because I don't feel like any of them are particularly useful compared to the cities on the older legacy interstates. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of Control City Freak. I really appreciate it. As I said, all you Yinzers out there, you should be happy. We are doing Interstate 376 for the Chiefs-Steelers Christmas Day game next week, and we will be doing US 40 after that, which will be awesome. But until next time, my name is Todd, and keep on trucking.